Well, today is May 3rd, 2020. It's about 10 a.m. There's a little bit of glare in the view, on the video here, but most of the video will not be in this direction, so it should provide good lighting. Anyway, if you've seen the previous video I did a few days ago, some people were asking and or mentioned certain areas of the Fort Ord Fritzche Airfield areas. And so I thought I would just drive through here and point out some of those areas. So if you haven't been here, you can see what's gone, what's new, what's changed, that kind of thing. Anyways, I'm at the end of the road at Fritzche Airfield. Several of these buildings that you can probably just make out in the video are probably newer since the base closed, the post closed, the airfield closed, and also the Fort Ord post. I very rarely came over to this side when I was here with my dad was in the Army and I was a civilian. I had access, but I just didn't have a need to come over here. In fact, as a child, even when I had my own driver's license, I don't know that I ever came over here. The only time I can remember coming here was when later on in the years when I was in the Navy, and we did what's called a cross country, and I was dropped off here, spent a few days with my family, and then we flew back down to San Diego where I was stationed. I was in a helicopter squadron at that time. Anyway, like I said, I'm here on Fritzche Airfield, and I don't know what this building is. There's several civilian, well, I guess they're all civilian now. I don't know that there's any military presence here at all. There's an old hangar that has now been turned into a skydiving school. At one time, Suddenlink had their offices there. They no longer have a local office. I saw a sign up there for a roofing company or something. Anyways, I think these are the newer buildings since the area closed down. This is Tricord Trade Show Services. So they probably set up trade shows, is my guess. Don't know what's there. This is actually a civilian airport now, although there's very little activity here. In fact, I was just over by the tower, which is over there, and I did not see any cars in the parking lot for the tower. So I don't believe that the tower is active right now. Maybe not at all. Maybe this is well, I haven't flown in a while, so I forget the name of it. But there are airfields that don't normally have somebody there to controlling the tower, giving you clearances and things, because there's just not enough activity, and so you're basically on your own to land safely. If somebody here is a pilot, you probably know the name, or like me, if you're an crewman, you may also know the name, or just I guess an aviation enthusiast. Anyways, over there behind, you can't see it from here, but just past that fire truck, there's a fence, and over there in the distance, you can probably be able to make out some of the pavement. The local school here, Monterey Peninsula College, has a police academy, and sometimes you can come when you're driving by this area, or even if you come over here, you can see them practicing their police car maneuvers, learning defensive driving and that kind of stuff. And when I say you can hear them, because they do high-speed chases in there, and you can hear the tires screeching, you can hear the engines accelerating, even out here on the main road. straight across where that signal light is ahead is the old entrance to Fort Ord MGM Gate. Of course, it's no longer a military base, so it's no longer MGM Road. It's now MGM Parkway. And you can probably tell even from this distance that it's been widened quite a bit. It used to just be one lane coming in, one lane going out, as I recall. Maybe two lanes going out for a right turn lane, but I don't think so. Well, yeah, maybe it was. Maybe it was. But definitely only one lane going in. This is Reservation Road. That way takes you to Marina. And Highway 1, this way takes you to Salinas. Or if you go straight, instead of turning into Salinas, you can eventually turn right and go into Monterey. That direction. If you were here in the early 90s, you may recall a little girl was killed here, Christina Williams. There's a memorial somewhere up here. That sign says United States Army Reserve Center. So they've got some facilities here. And I think the memorial is right up here somewhere for that Christina Williams. They just convicted the guy, I think. Not there. Maybe I passed it. I didn't see it. But I think I'm pretty sure it was somewhere back there near where the old gate used to be. Old gate guard. This is the old Preston Park. Well, it still is Preston Park. If you lived in Preston Park, you would recognize those buildings. Those homes. There at that signal light is the old Shop-Ed. It's now owned by a guy that used to be a council member in Seaside. In Seaside. Don't think he's a council member anymore. Anyways, on that side is the other housing. I can't remember the name of the housing on that side. It's been a long time since I've been over there. That housing is now part of the Monterey. What is it? Monterey Bay, California University. Yeah, California State University, Monterey Bay. As you can see, I'm going way too slow for these people. The speed limit here is 55, and let me accelerate so I don't tick off any more people. I don't know if you saw it. Two people got upset with me and went around me on the shoulder. Here's some brand new housing going in. Actually, right there and right down here. This was all originally supposed to have been built back in 2008 time frame, but with the economy taking a tank, they stopped the building and didn't actually build anything. This was this has all been built in the last couple of years. It's taken that long for the people to come back in and recover their losses, I guess. This here is where you would have turned if you wanted to go towards the old dump. This road, MGM Parkway, now goes all the way through to Highway 1, straight through. If you remember previously when Fort Ord was open, if you were going on to Highway 1, getting onto Highway 1 from this direction, you had to go through a kind of a S-type turn to get to a gate guard, either going in or going out, coming in and to go to work, or like I said, getting to accessing Highway 1. And if you were coming this way and wanted to go to the dump, there's a little road there you would have taken, because it takes, even though it's going to go the same direction we're going, it takes it a little bit closer. It takes you a little closer. Careful of these bicyclists. As you can see, there's brand new housing here. This is part of the university. As far as I know, let's see, does it say over there? California State University, Monterey Bay. Yeah, so it's part of the university, part of their dorm program. These are some of the nicer ones. Believe it or not, they've taken some of the old concrete barracks and turned them into housing as well. A few of them. And there's where the road would have come out if you'd taken that turn I pointed out. And the old dump road is right there. There's something down there now. I don't know what it is. All right. Those buildings right there, as I recall, were there when Fort Ord was open. They've been repurposed by the university for the university. I don't know what they do there, but anyway, here's one of the old concrete barracks. Another one that have been repurposed. Some more in the distance. Most of them have been torn down, but there are a few that you just saw that, like I said, have been repurposed. Anyways, pretty sure those buildings were there when Fort Ord was open. Now there was a movie. I'm going to see if I can't go by the area where there was a movie shot back in, I think it was the 60s. And it had Steve McQueen and Jackie Gleason. Jackie Gleason was a sergeant, I believe. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. Anyway, he was always getting Steve McQueen out of trouble, I think, if I remember the movie right. It's been, again, like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I believe this building is new. And to help give you bearings on where I am, in the distance through those trees is where the bowling alley and Bank of America used to be. Now, some of these streets are blocked off. I'm not sure if I can get all the way through to 6th Ave or not, but we'll see. Oh yeah, there's a sign right there, road closed. So that answers that question. Except for buses, service vehicles, and cyclists. Well, if there's enough room for a bus to get through, why can't I go through? Especially right now when there's nobody here. There's nobody on campus now. There's some cars there, so somebody's doing something here. But there's there are no students here. I'm going to go through anyway. Hopefully I won't get a ticket in the mail because somebody sees this on YouTube and writes me up. Oh yeah. Again, some of the repurposed barracks. Here's a better look. I don't see any furniture in there, so maybe they're not using those anymore. Now, let's see if this still goes through. And yes, it does. Good. Oh, there's some cars over there and some writing in the window, so maybe these buildings are being used. Anyways, this is 6th Ave. Can I turn right here? Yes, I can. Down there. Let's see, is it down there? I don't think so. I need to go. Oh, shoot, it's closed up here, too. Well, again, there's nobody here, so let's see if there's anybody to stop me. This is what they call the World Theater. It was, as I recall, it was a theater. It was here when Fort Ord was open. Don't remember the name of it. And then here is the Enlisted Men's Club. If you watch the movie I was talking about, I believe this is the scene where they had the scene where Jackie Gleason and Steve McQueen were going to, I think he said, the exchange, and then they start playing colors, and Steve McQueen quickly ducks inside. Anyways, you can see them clearly walking up this street, the two of them walking along here. As you watch the movie and they're talking, you can see this church right here. Not sure if it's still a church, but that's what it used to be. I don't think this small building was here. And then finally, you see that dome there, and it no longer says it, but it used to say re-up on it when Fort Ord was open. Right on this side, as I recall. Anyway, I think this is where I need to turn. And one of my comment posters, was asking about this area, I believe. There's the old Silas B. Hayes Hospital. It's now, at least some of it, I don't know about all of it, but some of it's being used by the DOT for something. Don't know exactly what. Anyways, reserve vehicles parked there. A lot of these buildings have been torn down. And I'll just keep it straight so you can kind of see where we're at. At the stop sign in the distance there, I'm going to make a right. That turn did not used to be there. If it was, it might have been a dirt road, but it was not a well-traveled road. And it actually goes out to North-South Road / General Jim Moore and Light Fighter Road. Light Fighter Road being the road that heads out to the main gate. And I'm going to go out that way so that you can see the fire department, the gas station. So if you were here previously, you would have had to turn left here, head towards Marshall Park, and then make a right on Giggling Road to get out to either Highway 1, get it to the exchange, go get fuel, head to Seaside, Monterey, Pacific Grove, wherever you wanted to go. Except for Salinas, you probably would have gone out Imgem Road if you were going to Salinas. Again, depending on where in Salinas you're going. Because you can also go to Salinas by going this way, jumping on Highway 1, going through Marina, and you come out in Prunedale, and then you can make a right heading north, and I'm sorry, is that north? No, south, I mean, and head towards, head to go to the mall. Anyway, over here on the left is the old fire department. It's still open, but it's now the Presidio of Monterey Auxiliary Station, I think they call it, or something like that. Down there is the road that goes to the exchange and on through to the commissary, and here's the old gas station. Of course, well, I say old, it's still a gas station. It's no longer, well, I was going to say it's no longer a military station, but you cannot get fuel there without showing your ID. So I guess it is a military gas station. Over there is Stillwell Hall. I mean, not Stillwell Hall, the NCO Club. It's now called the Stillwell Community Center, I think, what the sign said back there. And then I showed this part on the other video, but there was a cop there, so I couldn't get it. But I'm going to see if I can't get the statue that was erected and used to sit at the front gate. Here's the church. And there is the statue of the drill sergeant welcoming the new recruits. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not even sure that was there when the recruits were here. That might have been erected, designed later. And that guy went out there right in front of me. There's bushes there. There's no way he could have seen me. Anyway, I'm going to stop the video here.